Hello, welcome to Lifestyles of the Strange and Unusual. My name is Stephanie and my lifestyle is strange and unusual. And to that effect, we're talking about gift giving today. I have a coworker that is having his first baby and I am going to make him a strange and unusual gift because I can't just give a normal gift. But I do want to make sure that it's a gift that will actually be useful for their baby. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a diaper sculpture. This has kind of become a tradition at my office. Every time there's a baby shower, I make a diaper sculpture of some kind, and this time I'm going to make a teddy bear, and I'm going to walk you through how I did it. Now, before we get started, I would just like to say that I did sanitize this countertop, scrubbed my hands really good under the nails, and I'm going to be making sure to keep everything really clean because it is for a baby. And the first thing that we're going to do is make the head of the bear. So I'm going to take these diapers, start with one, and roll it up. Like that, and I am just going to add more diapers. I figure I'll need about 10 to be the right size for the bear's head. And I have rubber bands and paper clips here to kind of hold stuff together so that this can be taken apart and these diapers can be used. And I did sanitize them as well. And I made sure to get size 3 diapers for 2 reasons. One, everybody always tries to get newborn diapers, and sometimes a baby comes out and they don't even fit in newborn diapers. So this will definitely give something for the baby to grow into. And 2, they can actually keep this as a sculpture in their house for a little while on display if they want to, like in the baby's room before they actually use it. I did that with my diaper cake that I got for my baby shower. I had it on display on the dresser when I had the nursery all set up before the baby was born. So now I'm just gonna go, now that I have the rubber band around there, I'm gonna go and just tuck everything in real nicely to make sure that it's round. So it should look like that. And now I'm gonna set that aside. And I'm going to build the base of the bear, which I figure will be about 10 to 15, no, it'll be 15 diapers because 10 for the head. So just same thing, only more diapers. Now when it gets about this big or too big for you to kind of grip, you can always put the rubber band around it at that stage and then just tuck the diapers in to the rubber band. I've seen some people set it inside a lid, like a round lid or something like that, but I find that this works just as easily. I want to apologize if you guys hear any noises in the background. The handsome devil is home and the little monster is home as well as our 2 familiars. I'm actually surprised one of the familiars hasn't jumped up on the counter to be like, what are you doing? But the little monster's taking a nap and the handsome devil's upstairs getting some work done. So these are gonna sit like this. So the next thing that I'm gonna do is make little ears. I got these little socks. So I got everything I could with bears on it to go with the theme of me making a diaper bear. So for the little ears, let me see how I want to put these. So there's a couple of ways I could do it. I want to see what looks most ear-like. You know, I think I'm gonna go like that so you can see the bear. And I'm gonna hold that in place with a paper clip. There we go. So I've got the little ears. And now I'm going to make the paws. So the upper two arms, I'm just taking 2 diapers and I'm rolling it. And I got baby washcloths. Again, I found ones with bears. And this actually matches the little blanket that I found, if you can see that. I'm not exactly sure what all the camera is showing. I probably should for this video, but it's fine. So I'm gonna use this white baby washcloth to kind of wrap. Now let's see how big that is. That looks like a bottom paw, but I think I want the top paws to be a little bit smaller. So I'm just gonna use 1 diaper for the top paws. And the washcloth. And then hold it together with a paper clip. Actually, I'm gonna hold this together with a rubber band, I think, because I don't think you'll see it. And then for the bottom paws, I'm gonna go ahead and do 2. I'm actually gonna do it this way, because I think they'll stay together a little bit better. There we go. Yeah, that's cute. And you want the bottom paws to be just a little bit bigger than the top paws. Always make sure to tuck in the little tag. It just looks nicer when presenting. Okay, I realized I'd forgotten something upstairs, so I had to run up and get it. But now we're gonna start the assembly. So we're going to do the bottom paws first, and we're just gonna stick it right in that rubber band. Pull the rubber band out and position it, twist it so that it's where you want it. And then same thing on the other side. And just be careful that you're not shifting stuff to where this looks messy or anything like that. Actually, you know what? I have another idea. We're gonna try something else. I'm gonna take this blanket. I'm just gonna do something else with this, but I just sort of was struck with inspiration. So I'm gonna wrap this around like this. That's cute. Okay, and again, right inside that rubber band. And I know what you're thinking, I just got done talking about tucking tags for presentation. We're gonna cover the rubber band. So don't you worry. Oh yeah, that's cute. And then I want the seam at the top because that's where we're gonna join with the head. And then we're just gonna do the same thing we were gonna do with the paws, but now the blanket. Oop, need to twist it. There we go. Now the blanket is in there. That's gonna be adorable. Also pull the paws slightly to the front so they stick out a little bit so that they do actually look like paws sticking out. I'm gonna have Sheila edit out that cough. I apologize. So we're gonna do the same thing on this side with this paw. And again, you want it to stick out just a little bit. That does two things. One, it does make it look more like paws. And two, it also gives this stability so it can sit on its own. I'm gonna pull this rubber band back so it's harder to see. There we go. Okay. And now I'm gonna do the same thing with the head. So once I decided I was gonna do, the sculpture I was gonna do this time was gonna be a teddy bear, I just sort of looked for all the teddy bear accoutrement that I could find. I found this blanket, and then these washcloths, and then I found the socks. So then I got other stuff that I thought would match it color scheme wise. I have done a stroller, and I've done a 3-tiered cake, and I've done a stroller, and I've done a diaper bathtub and a diaper hot air balloon for sculptures for people. So I have a lot of fun when doing this. Now we're gonna do, before we touch the head, we're gonna do the upper paws, which are gonna go over here. And, whoops! I pulled a little too hard on that. Take two. There we are, there we are. So actually, I think I'm going to lay this down this way. And I'm going to show you how I'm going to hide the rubber bands before we attach the head. Some people will tell you to use ribbon, but I found that using this works just as well, and there's significantly more of it than ribbon usually, so I can use it for several projects, and it's usually really less expensive. So I'm just using plain old Scotch tape because, again, this comes off very, very easily so that they can still use these diapers. And we're essentially just using this not for stability purposes, but for aesthetic purposes to hide the rubber bands. So I'm coming in and I'm gonna go around the paw like that. Actually giving myself a little more slack. Down. That didn't work. Take two. Okay. Scotch tape. Scotch tape. There we go. And that'll hide the rubber bands so that you won't see them. And be careful with this, you can pull it too tight and rip it. So again, this is not for stability purposes, it's just for aesthetic purposes so you don't see the rubber bands. But it's important, you could hot glue all of this, and I've seen people do that, but I really want to make it simple for the my coworker and his wife to be able to use these diapers later. So I don't want it to fall apart during a shower. I want it to look real cute, but I need them to be able to use these because that's the main point, is for them to be able to actually use this. There we go. That's pretty cute. All right, so I think what I'm going to do is attach the ears. And I'm going to go, I think, heel out, so it gives kind of the appearance of like an ear. I'm going to put these, make sure that they're not to the side like another pair of ears. You want them closer to the top so that it's definitely, when you're looking at it, you're like, oh, it's an ear. Tuck that paper clip in. I don't want anyone to see it. Alright. Make sure that that's center. Yeah. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull the heel up a little bit so that it really does look like a little ear. Going to sit like this, but we should wrap it before I sit it on there, because it'll be too hard to wrap afterward. I could also use safety pins or something like that, but again, I really just, a rubber band is so easy to pull off. And Scotch tape will just pop right off of there. Sometimes working with things like this, it's trial and error, like you saw a moment ago where I was like, oh, I have to try that again. And that's okay. You don't necessarily have to get it right, exactly right the first time. just kind of keep playing with it and see how it works. The first few diaper cakes I made were awful. I gave them away anyway. But they were bad, and the more I did it, the better I got at it. And then I started being more comfortable making other shapes and doing other things. I don't know how high the camera goes, which is great for filming a YouTube video. I'm professional. But I will definitely do a pan of it being all finished, so you can see the finished product. So I'm going to attach this head with the paper clips. And of course, paper clips always get stuck together. I'm sort of to the point where I'm not even mad. I kind of feel like it's bad luck if they don't. I don't know if you can see this, but I'm resting my chin gently on top of this just to kind of hold it in place while I paper clip it. And I'm pushing the paper clip back really far so that you can't see it. So I'm doing one on the right side where I guess the shoulder would be if this was a real bear. And then, so one on the right shoulder, one on the left shoulder-ish. And I'm going to paper clip it in the back as well for added stability. Okay, there we go. There we go. So I wanted to tilt up the camera so you guys could see what I was doing with the face. So when I get to the office, I'm gonna print out a little cartoon bear nose and 2 eyes. I was gonna do googly eyes, but the only way that I thought I could attach them was going to be glue, and again, I didn't want to do that. So I'm just gonna do paper cutouts and just roll Scotch tape into a roll and stick them on. I can actually show you that if you like. And then same thing with the little nose. And then right here, I have this really cute bear binky that I found. And I would say the mouth is gonna be right about here. I'm just gonna stick that right on in there, wedge it in there. And then I'll put the nose here and the eyes here. So it'll look like he's got a little binky, and then I'm gonna put a bow here, and the bow's at my office as well, so I will show you guys that. And I have at the office I have a little tray, and I'll fan these diapers out and set this little guy on there, and I'll show you guys all of that, because it'll be real cute. And then I have a bib. I want to tuck it in around the paws, because you've got to be able to see the paws. There we go. And I will show you guys once I get the eyes and the nose and the little tray. I'm going to put it on and what it looks like when it's all finished. But the hard part's over.